Welcome, everybody, to this WWE Fastlane review show. My name is Jeff Lane, and joining me once again is Zac Eisenstein. Zac, welcome back, man. It's been a while, almost a month now, I think, since we've done one of these shows since the Royal Rumble. But it's good to have you back, man. How you doing?
I'm good, Lazy Lane.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
Huh?
I got to tell you, I'm the guy. It was me.
Are you? I figured.
I figured. Sending all the emails.
I figured it was you. Interesting pay-per-view tonight. Before we get into Fastlane, I do want to talk about the pre-show because, well, they had a title on the line. We had the U.S. title match. But I also want to get your thoughts on Mauro Ranallo because I haven't been watching SmackDown. This is the first time I got to hear him myself, and I thought the guy was absolutely fantastic. What were your thoughts on him?
I have been watching SmackDown. In fact, since he came on, I think that SmackDown the past month or two is a better show than Raw. I think it's, and he's a big reason why. There's other reasons. I think it's better because it's 2 hours. There's less stupid promos, more wrestling and promos that matter. The fat is more trimmed recently. But, yeah, I think he's great. He's probably my favorite guy to listen to. He calls a match, he calls moves. That guy knows what every wrestling move is called. And if it's just Byron or JBL or Michael Cole, you're not going to hear any kind of move that's not a signature or a special, Yeah,
and one thing I noticed besides that was that there really isn't any dead air. You know what I mean? You watch a lot of the matches today, there's just a lot of times where they're just not saying anything. Yep. But he seems like he's excited the entire match, and he's making the whole match, sound important.
He gives it a big fight feel, and he calls it like a regular sport. He makes me feel like I'm watching the Flyers play or something.
Yeah, and I just thought it was kind of a downer when he wasn't there when the pay-per-view started, what I mean? I thought that was a step back, honestly. But we had the 2 out of 3 falls match, and Kalisto won the first fall and the third fall to retain his title. Thoughts on this? I believe this was a match we discussed at the Royal Rumble. I think this has been going on that long between those two. So is there anything different you saw in this match, or what were your thoughts on Kalisto retaining the title?
I think they got gypped, first of all, by that being the pre-show match. And for many reasons. They're two talent who deserve to be on the roster. It's for a belt. It's a rivalry that last month was part of the pay-per-view. I don't understand why it was on the pre-show. But anyway, I thought it was a good match. If anybody remembers on the Rumble one, that was my favorite match, and I really like watching those guys wrestle each other. But the only thing for me was I felt like the finisher looked a little weird.
Yeah, I liked the psychology where Del Rio, kind of forfeited a fall to get the upper hand with the chair shot and destroy him. I thought that was good.
The way that the 3 falls were booked was was cool, and it was realistic. It's like, okay, so you're gonna give him this fall I got like a DQ against me, so you just give this guy a fall while I'm kicking his ass, right? So if this was a real fight, why I'm kicking his ass? So I just go get the second fall right now while I'm kicking his ass, and that's what they did.
Right.
So I think that's cool.
Yeah, I agree. So we start the show off. I thought this was interesting. It's probably has happened before. I just don't remember a show opening up with the women. So I thought that was kind of cool. We had the tag match, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks versus Naomi and Tamina of Team Bad. I was watching the show with my friend Big Guy, and I told him, I'm perfectly secure in my manhood knowing that Tamina would kick the ever-loving crap out of me if I got to fight with her. She's just massive, man. Unbelievable.
That's why she's, really cool, I think. That's one of the superstars, Not even as far as divas are concerned, just the superstars in general.
Yeah, of the 2 diva matches that were on the show, I thought this was the better one. I really liked the spot where they teased the hot tag, and Becky was reaching for Sasha, and Naomi pulled her off the Naomi snuck around and pulled her off the apron before she could get the tag. I like that. I thought that was really good. And then Becky and Sasha get the win with the double submission at the same time.
Yep.
Were you surprised, or did you expect them to kind of go at it afterwards?
I did. I expected them to go at it. I thought overall the women had a better night than the men on this pay-per-view. I think both women's matches were the better ones of the evening. I agree. This one was probably a bit better. This one had great wrestling, and I like Sasha and Becky. That's what it is, right? Yeah, as a tag team. I think that's cool. I like how it's kind of a reluctant. I've always liked the reluctant tag teams, and I think that's always something really cool. And they looked cool together, and I don't know. And like we said, Tamina's cool. I like that match.
Yeah, my only concern here, I was kind of hoping, especially with the disagreement they had when the match started, who was going to start the match. I was hoping that Sasha would nail Becky after the match. I'm just very concerned that they are kind of losing her character traits by just having her be another baby face. I haven't seen the boss, the cockiness, the character we've come to know with Sasha Banks. I haven't seen that since the Rumble, since she kind of started this thing teaming with Becky, and especially when she came out on Raw this week, she just looked really like dressed up like a well elegant female instead of her cocky self. I'm just scared we're going to lose that character. You think I'm overreacting here?
No, I think it could be right, but I think there's also the other side of the coin. Whereas if you look at any great wrestler, they start with a very defined gimmick, and their career goes on, and it changes a little bit. They lose some things. They morph. They become more of just who they are, and their personality hopefully takes over, and they become more successful. That could be something like that is what's happening. So I'm just giving you an optimistic alternative.
Right.
You could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong, because I don't. It's not like I'm like going to bat for her or the creative or anything, but that's another way of looking at it. Maybe I'm a big mark for her character. I feel like she gets it when she's playing that character, and especially it comes out when she's wrestling. I just like it. So maybe I'm being biased because I'm such a mark for the character. We get a shot of Machine Gun Kelly next. On your expert music opinion, what do you think of this guy? Oh man, he used to be my neighbor in the summers in Warped Tour. I guess 2012. Our buses would be parked, like 20 feet from each other every day. Like, you've been to Warped Tour, you know what it's like. We would park really close. That's the only interaction I ever really had with him. I know that he didn't make a lot of fans on the Warped Tour as far as the people running Warped Tour go, the administrative wise and the office, you could say. If it was wrestling, he didn't make many fans. He probably made real legitimate fans for his music and did well on that front. But I don't know. We have some mutual friends. I don't know him that well.
Yeah, well, I don't know him at all, obviously. I just still I'm still bitter about him not selling the power bomb from Kevin Owens off the stage.
I don't think he's that cool. I got friends. I don't want to bring too many names into it, but I have friends who do the same thing as Machine Gun Kelly that I think are do it better.
And speaking of Kevin Owens, that was the next match, the Intercontinental title match, Owens versus Ziggler, in the best of 37 series, I guess. I feel like we're seeing this match every week. Kevin Owens gets the win.
Did you want Ziggler to win, kind of like if you were a 10-year-old kid watching 10-year-old Jeff Lane, the wrestling fan who thinks it's kind of real, do you want Ziggler to win? I'm
sure I would have, yeah. I feel like he's somebody the kids probably are drawn to.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I really don't have any thoughts on this match. I've seen it so many times. I feel like the Intercontinental title doesn't feel important anymore. I don't know, man. I really got no thoughts on this. Why don't you take this one?
Kind of like the way John Cena did for the U.S. titles. If someone could do that for the IC title, that would be cool. What I was thinking while I was watching the match is I'm trying to analyze where creative was coming from, last month, what I'm watching right now. And I realized at this moment I'm thinking, oh, they're just dropping the belt from Dean to Dolph and using Kevin as a vehicle. So Dean can be freed up for the main title thing and Dolph can get like a shot again. And because Kevin just had his shot. And then that all made a lot of sense in my head, and I liked that. And that's not how the match rolled. And then I was just kind of mentally spent on it after that.
I thought it was,
seen it.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Ziggler. I don't know if he's done it before. I hadn't seen it that I can remember doing the Shawn Michaels, the tuning up the band.
Yeah,
he was wearing, red and black, and I thought his hair was kind of getting like Shawn Michaels. I saw a lot of Shawn Michaels out there.
Shawn Michaels never had cornrows, though.
No, but like when he used to braid it. Remember when Shawn Michaels used to braid it when he was in DX?
Oh, yeah.
He would kind of do that braid over.
Kind of cornrows.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just saw a lot of HBK tonight. I know he's one of his inspirations. Maybe he was
That's cool, right? That's not like a
Yeah, I just feel like they don't know what to do with Dolph.
That's the thing. So I'm watching the match thinking maybe they finally are going to try again to at least try to figure out what to do with Dolph, and that's what this has all been about. Because I don't see the logic of obviously there's always things that can happen, but nothing immediately jumps into my mind as why it's beneficial for Kevin Owens to get the belt back again.
Right, especially there's no story. There is absolutely no story with it.
There's very little story with anyone's feuds right now, in my opinion. But yeah, there's no story. That one's a TNA storyline.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
right.
I want to be the IC champ.
That's exactly what it is. That's a good point. Next is the 6-man match: Big Show, Ryback, and Kane versus all the Wyatts besides Bray. I was just absolutely floored and just confused as why JBL would make a Walking Dead reference at the exact time that The Walking Dead is on and competing with this pay-per-view. Like, I just don't understand that from a business point of view.
I am with the video. I like the video games a lot, and I've read some of the comics, but
I've given up on the series. I have.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, he said somebody did something like Rick Grimes going through a zombie or something like that. But it's like The Walking Dead's on at that point.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Why remind the audience that they could be watching something else? I just thought that was weird.
You figure at least like 100 people went, The Walking Dead's on.
Yeah, I mean,
click.
They could have their DVR set and recording it. I just don't understand that. I don't know. That's just me. The baby faces get the win here. I didn't expect that to happen.
Me neither. Man. Because you want to say, because what's the point? That's why I didn't see it, because what's the point? But what's the point if either of them win, really? Because that's the state of the creative right now.
That's it. They pretty much, Kane and Ryback gets wins, but Kane and Big Show really don't win anymore. Kane got destroyed by Bray. That match, they didn't even make that a close match. Big Show never wins. So if the Wyatts beat these guys, does it really do anything for them at this point? No. But what does it do on the reverse for the company if these guys win? I don't know, man.
It's just like, what the hell? Like, it's you look at this and you're like, from our perspective, I feel like I'm watching the show like I'm supposed to go on a internet show and talk about this after. There's nothing to freaking like. It's not bad. It wasn't bad, but it's just WWE what it is now.
Yeah, but that's it. That's exactly it. The point is there's no story, so we have nothing to talk about.
Right?
Where's it going from here? There's just they won in a match that didn't mean anything.
Yeah,
and there's no story involved. Okay.
If I had to pick one, if someone said, "Fine, Zach, you think you could do better? Here's the wheel. Who should have won that match?" I'd have said the Wyatts then. And I don't know why. I would have to think about it, but that's my natural.
Right, yeah, but that's the thing. But why aren't they thinking? You know, that maybe they are and they're just not doing a good job. But when you're picking somebody to win, okay, why? Why are they going to win? What are we going to do with it? What's the story? That's the way you put together a good show. So,
we can't really talk too much smack until we don't know why, I guess.
Right. But we should know why, like, by seeing what happens. You know what I mean? There should be a story there. I feel like there's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All the old pay-per-views used to, like the ones that you and Vince have been reviewing, those probably all end. Like, I haven't been watching every one that you guys do it, but those shows I imagine all probably end with some sort of amazing revelation or cliffhanger to go into the next Raw or something, right? And like, what did we get tonight? It ended with this stare down moment. All day they were like, at the end of the show, we'll get in the ring, and then at the same time, we'll look at the WrestleMania sign, and it'll be sweet.
You know what that reminded me of is one of those cheesy, like, UFC poses. You know what I mean? Where they get face to face, like Ronda Rousey's always doing this.
I felt like Sean, or fucking Christ, what's his name? Triple H wanted to laugh. I felt like but maybe I'm wrong. And then I also felt like he's looking at Roman Reigns like, ready, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then he looked and Roman Reigns was like a half beat behind. And then Triple H was like, you idiot. That was what it made me feel like.
Yep. A little backstage JoJo with Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose interludes. The Priceline joke. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just thought there was so much childish humor on the show tonight.
Oh yeah, like, Priceline. Like,
I mean, come on, man. Like, seriously, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Priceline was something I can take from New Day, but I don't want Priceline from Dean.
Yeah. Brie Bella versus Charlotte was next. And
I liked it, that match.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point where I'm actually not. I don't know who's gonna win, and that's always a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening with Brie. You don't know if she's retiring. There's a lot of stuff going into this. I honestly, at one point, thought maybe she could win the match, but I liked how they told the story with her leg. You know what I mean? She hurt her leg. Charlotte worked on it, but Charlotte gets the win with the figure 8.
Yeah, me too. It had me thinking a lot about Brie's career while I was watching the match, which is good. It's thought-provoking. That's like the definition of thought-provoking. And I was swerved a bit. I really thought I thought it was over when Ric Flair was going to try to interfere with the submission hold, and your boy Rudy actually saw Flair trying to do that and was like, nah, that's not going to happen. And I was like, cool. That's cool. That's like going to be a clean babyface win. But it was like a clean heel win kind of anyway. It wasn't even like a heel win.
Yeah.
You just kind of won.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issues with that match at all. I thought they did
me neither. It was a really good match. It was probably one of my favorite Brie Bella matches in recent memory.
I remember you used to have an issue with her doing Daniel Bryan stuff.
It annoyed me.
Yeah, do you still feel that way?
No, isn't that weird?
Well, I mean, is it because he retired? Is that why you've changed your mind, or?
Yeah, I guess, or it's probably just because I feel, and the whole experience of him giving that speech was like emotional and stuff, and now you're all gooey about it, but when he was still kind of a thing, because she had, wasn't anywhere near the Yes gimmick as far as being awesome, but she had her own thing. She was a Bella twin, and she was successful on her own shit. And I always thought it was weak that as soon as like her boy was successful too, she started just doing his thing. But now it's kind of like their family, she's like all we have left of him. That's why it's okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like I thought it was cool because now she's his wife and he had to retire and she's paying tribute to her husband. So I thought that played off well. I really did. Jericho versus AJ Styles was next. This is the third match. They had split on Raw and SmackDown previously. And AJ wins with the submission. He did the Styles Clash, and Jericho kicked out, and he immediately put on a submission to get the win. And then they shook hands afterwards. So what were your thoughts on this?
Love the match, hate the handshake. So sick of the handshake. And also, the worst part about the handshake is that we knew it was happening for like 45 freaking seconds before he stuck. We were all just waiting for as soon as he gets in the ring, I'm like, as soon as they see the wide shot, I'm like, handshake. Here we go. Just shake his hand. Because I don't think the handshake's cool to begin with. And second of all, you're just rubbing my nose in it by making us all wait. You know, it's overdone. It was cool at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla in like 2009. That was sweet. You know, people were like, oh, they shook hands. It's like the Indies. But it's like, we don't need that. WWE, walk away. I get it. You respect him. You can cut a promo next week. Tell us all you respect him. You don't got to do, you know, I guess in that sense, I'm a traditionalist. Yeah.
I mean, can we not have a heel that is a sore loser? Can that not exist anymore? Like, can we have not given Jericho his heat back and have him just like kick the crap out of Styles after the match or something like that?
That's another thing, because it makes it more. A handshake it's a rivalry killer. It means it's over. Like, and that, oh, wow, good job. Like, that's not really, he could have, what if they could have extended the program by Jericho freaking out or something, and, you know, maybe something made cool out of it, because I like watching them wrestle. But I thought their match ruled.
Yeah, this is what I think they are thinking, and again, this is just my guess, just by the way they write their television, and I feel like they're sitting there thinking, you know what, if Jericho shakes his hand and shows him this respect, that's gonna elevate AJ even more. That's what they're thinking, I guarantee.
Yeah, and I agree. I get it. The whole thing was about like, if Jericho says he's cool, WWE Universe, then he's cool. That was the whole point of the whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was kind of cringeworthy and just cheesy, and yeah. All right, so after that was the Peep Show, Cutting Edge. Edge and Christian with the New Day, and then the League of Nations got involved.
Most confusing thing ever.
Yeah, I didn't get it, because it's like, okay,
who was friends at the end? What happened?
I don't think the crowd knew who they were. Who was like the League of Nations were kind of introduced like they were going to get cheered the way Edge and Christian were putting them over, and then they come out and then they're being a-holes, and then all of a sudden New Day is laughing at Edge and Christian's insult, and like, okay, are we supposed to cheer for them now? It was kind of a cluster.
You know, like who cut in on who? Who interrupted who? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. It's like exactly what you just said. In the beginning, it was like, hey, we're Edge and Christian versus New Day kind of thing, and it ended with them being boys. But in the middle, they were like, oh, well, Edge and Christian were like, League of Nations is going to kick your ass.
I know, like, I don't get it. They were putting over Sheamus. They were putting over Rusev, like, and then.
Yeah, you know who ended up looking the best out of all of them? League of Nations. I think.
Yeah, I mean, Edge and Christian left the ring because of him.
Like, you go, okay, League of Nations is good. This is all that happened. If I had to be someone in that situation, I'd be League of Nations, because so-and-so says that, puts me over, basically. I get to walk out. Then go to the guy who put me over and be like, get out of my face, I don't need any friends. Then go to the guy that he was beefing with and be like, and screw you too. And everybody runs out of the ring. I look awesome, kind of.
I mean, it was just, I don't know. I thought there was a lot of childish dialogue. And
is he getting to you, or do you think it's funny?
I didn't think this was funny. I didn't think there was anything funny about this particular segment.
I liked hot garbage. That made me laugh.
What part?
When Xavier said hot garbage. That made me laugh.
Speaking of childish humor, then next was the Social Outcasts. I don't know. Listen, I'm kind of split with these guys, because I think Adam Rose could be so funny if he's got the right material. and he hardly talks. Bo Dallas, I think, can be very good. But we got Heath Slater as the mouthpiece, who I don't think is entertaining, in my opinion. I think he came across very cheesy. I think Curtis Axel came across even worse. I don't know. And they're running around the ring during this match. I just felt like this was the Disney Channel, man, watching these guys.
I hear you. And I agree that Bo, I think, is the one with the real potential as a funny guy. And I see what you're saying with Adam Rose. But, I think I might have said it on the Rumble review. I might not. I might have just thought it. But I always thought if it was the 90s, or if wrestling was very popular now, or if the creative was a little more creative, if things were different, and Social Outcast was like, I think that Bo could be the Social Outcast as The Rock was to Nation of Domination. He's not originally the leader, but he ends up shining the brightest, and then he ends up becoming the leader, and then maybe just breaking away from it. I could see that.
Yeah, and I think you did. Yeah, I'm having deja vu right now.
Yeah. I was thinking it again tonight.
Yeah,
like what you're saying, it's basically we're saying the same thing. Maybe not Heath maybe he shouldn't be the leader in our opinion.
So they had the match, and it was Curtis Axel versus R-Truth, and this was kind of silly too. I don't know. Goldust comes out, and we know the storyline that they've been doing with Goldust and R-Truth. And Goldust ends up rolling Adam Rose in the ring, who R-Truth had to leapfrog, and then he ended up getting pinned out of that. So I guess the way they're explaining it to us is that Goldust cost him the match. I don't know. It was a big cluster to me. I'm not sure what the point of this match was. Maybe they got to the building and they're like, crap, we don't have enough matches. You know what I mean? We need to, but you think about it. We had a great 2 out of 3 falls match that was on the pre-show that could have been in a spot like this.
A championship 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Thoughts on this, R-Truth?
Well, they've been trying to do this story where Goldust wants to make a tag partnership with R-Truth, which for some reason R-Truth thinks he's like too good to be on a tag team with Goldust, which would be awesome. It would be perfect mid-card comedy. Like, anyone who thinks it wouldn't be awesome, I think is not thinking about it hard enough. Like, Goldust has a long history of doing hilarious mid-card stuff. R-Truth, everybody knows, has a really good sense of humor about his character, and that would be awesome. So maybe they are just teasing an eventual team between them, which I would be down for.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them credit for at least there was a story involved in the match.
But why that should have? But I agree. If I was in charge of things, I probably would have switched places with the pre-show match and that match.
Yeah. And finally, the main event: Brock versus Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. I thought this match was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. And I'm starting to see anytime Brock Lesnar's in a match, that's usually the case. And I'm really starting to watch Brock because I think he brings a lot of the last generation stuff into the match. If you watch his pacing and the way he'll hit a big move and then he'll look at the crowd, or he'll do his bounce, or he'll do his pose and he'll laugh. But at the same time, look at what the other guy's doing, selling. You know what I mean? Facials. I feel like Brock makes the match better, but with his pacing, and I think it elevates the other guys. So I don't know. I thought this was the match of the night in my point of view.
Man, I was thinking the same thing kind of about Brock, and I agree that every time Brock's in a match, it's an exciting match. It really is. Like, his suplexity is cool. Basically, I was thinking about it while I was watching the match. This guy's shtick is that he just gives you like 17 German suplexes in a row. That's badass. That's like really sweet. It's Brock Lesnar. In a way, if there was going to be anyone involved as that third guy between him, Roman and Dean, I like that. It's Brock. That's who I would pick. But there's part of me that wonders how cool if it would have been better if it was just Dean and Roman. and we focus more just so like, because when you really think about it, it's awesome because it's Brock. But what was the point of that third person there? When you have a story about two guys who have been homies or in the Shield together, are both finally at WrestleMania, that's a story. You know, you can just do that if they applied themselves to it. But like I said, I'm not complaining because I don't really think that adding Brock to the mix of anything is the worst idea.
Before we get to Reigns getting the win and going from there, what did you think of the way this match was laid out with Brock taking 2 table bumps, you know, kind of putting him on the sidelines for a bit, letting Dean and Roman go at it? You know, I thought that I thought it made Dean look really good in this match, and there wasn't a point where I was thinking this doesn't look believable when him beating on Brock, because I thought every time he got offense on Brock, it made sense. Going through the table with the help of Roman, hitting him with the chairs, all that stuff made sense.
Low.
Right.
Yep.
So what did you think of the actual booking, the laying out of this match?
I thought it was cool. I mean, obviously, you know that they're ganging up to do something to Brock so they can lay him out for a while. You know that in the beginning, he's so much more powerful than those two that they got to do something to subdue him so they can get to work on each other. That being said, because it's Brock Lesnar, in that time that he's incapacitated on the side of the ring, it's not as believable as it would be with other guys to think that he's out for that long, because you know Brock's a beast. So you're kind of just like waiting for him, like, man, like if Ryback can lay down for a bit and then shoot back up and kick someone's ass, Brock should be able to do it in like 10 seconds. So you're kind of waiting for him to come back. But I like it. I agree with what you were saying. My only thing is just, and it has nothing, it's nothing against the match or anyone, but I don't like that Shield move where they do it. I don't think it makes sense. It's illogical. Dean, it's just like, Dean just puts him on Roman's shoulders and then just like touches Brock while Roman powerbombs.
Yeah, I mean, because there's not, I mean, the way they used to do it was all three of them, and you know what I mean, and they would help push him down or add force. But yeah,
it looks kind of silly with two guys. That's my only thing. That's all.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. The one thing I mean, when they buried Brock with the table rubble, I thought that was kind of cheesy.
Yeah,
but I was expecting an even cheesier like eruption from the thing, but we never saw that. I don't know. Maybe that's just
true. I didn't think of that. I did think it was cheesy though. Like, oh, you're really buying yourself time by trapping Brock Lesnar with this 12-inch TV monitor.
Roman Reigns gets the win, so we are set for Roman versus Triple H at WrestleMania. What do you think of that choice?
Yeah. Oh man, it's just like the best thing that I was available to do given the creative that is here.
Was that? You expected Roman to get the win here going in?
Yeah, I did. I expected Roman to win, but I thought, man, how cool would it be if Dean did? How cool would it be if Dean did? And that was just my pipe dream the whole time. But I think Roman Reigns and Triple H have a great match at WrestleMania. I know that everybody, I know you and Vince on your other shows have been saying that they need to do something fast to get some sort of big attraction ready to make people want to fill that stadium for WrestleMania. I don't know if this is it. I don't know what is though. So I can't like, what else, So I guess when you don't have anything that is outlandish, that's crazy, that's going to put asses in seats that don't normally watch the show, then you just do what makes the most sense. And I guess this does. So can't really hate.
Yeah, I guess it just, it depends where it goes from here. And it would have been with any of the guys, I guess. As far as just looking at names on a paper, from the options that they had, I think their best option at this point would have been Brock and Triple H at WrestleMania. I think that, you know what I mean? I think that would have been good. And then you could have done Dean versus Roman to do the story that you were talking about. That's their form on a platter. You know what I mean? Have them go at it at WrestleMania.
I agree with that. I think
but I don't think we'll be. I think Roman and Triple H will put on a good show. I thought Roman did well last year at WrestleMania. I I think this is it. This is going to be his WrestleMania moment this year, I'm sure.
Yeah, it would be cool if, like, in the WrestleMania match with Triple H, we have someone does a run-in to help Triple H, someone who we haven't seen in action in WWE for years, right? Like, someone comes back and surprises everyone and runs in as a heel to help Triple H, like someone who used to be in TX or something, and then Roman, like, kicks both their ass and gets the belt. Like, that would be something like that would rule. They could always pull out something like out of left field,
Yeah. I've been thinking, like, okay, if someone's going to come back, like I was thinking Seth Rollins, but I don't remember how long he's out for. So I don't know if he'd be available to come back, but I could see him, just like last year. I mean, obviously he can't cash in and get in the match, but he could get involved somehow and make his return, but I don't know if he'll be healthy by then or not.
For a brief moment tonight, I thought about how it would be cool if he came out to help them, and he came out babyface to help them tonight against Brock and make it seem like there was going to be a Shield reunion. But the problem with that would be, so say all three of them beat up Brock. Well, then Seth's just like, all right, guys, I'm going to go back to the locker room.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, I was watching your match. Good luck to both of you. We're all friends. So that worked.
Final thoughts on the show.
To sum up my feelings on the show, is that although every match was good, in my opinion, WWE creatively is just not keeping my attention that well with the storylines. And so it's hard for me to feel like it was really important or to get like emotional about the pay-per-view. But that being said, I think everybody involved in the pay-per-view did a great job and did their jobs. And like, it was there weren't any bad matches. There weren't.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with all of that. And just to add, I think, again, you see how valuable Brock Lesnar is to the company. The way that both Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose looked like they belonged in the main event tonight, and they looked like they deserved to be there. And I think that was because they got to work with somebody like Brock as well.
Yeah.
Let's before we get off here, let's talk about you, because on the last show we did, you had teased some dates coming out for you guys for Man Overboard, and they have now been released.
Yeah.
And kind of get into that because it's leading into a little break for you guys. So what's coming up for you?
Man Overboard has announced that we're going on hiatus, and we're not breaking up. We're taking a break. Some of the guys in the band just want to do some other stuff, me included. But, some stuff like have kids and really, take their lives to the next level, which is cool. So we're going to call it a day for a little bit. And we're doing a string of shows in April. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but we're doing some East Coast dates and some West Coast dates. I know April 17th I know that one because it's my home show in Philadelphia. That's at the Theater of the Living Arts. And, if you go to manoverboardnj.com, all the dates are up there. So see if we're coming to town and you go to the show and you watch this review, come talk to me because I'll be your friend.
All right, and I'm going to put the dates up right now for everybody to see. So if any of these dates are in your area, go and see Zach, support Zach. These guys are awesome live. I was lucky enough to see them. So after these dates, what's in the near future for you? What are we going to be seeing from you coming up?
I have some musical things I'm trying to do. A couple of them I've already gotten started. I have a few different groups of friends that are both functioning all as a band. So I've kind of started like 2 or 3 different bands, and we're all in the process of recording a record or a demo or something of that nature. So I kind of just want to put it all out, and whatever people feel most, whatever they respond to the most, I'll just pursue that. But other than that, I'm going to chill. I got a job during the day at office. It's down the street from my house, marketing office. That's what I went to school for. So I'm just going to go kick it there. And it's literally like a mile down the street. Pretty chill place. And, I'm just going to relax. I have some ambitions to get into the wrestling business as a promoter. So you're hearing that here first. So I'll keep you guys in the loop and let you know how that's going.
Good deal, man. Excited to hear all that. So everybody, go see Man Overboard before they go on hiatus. I know you'll have a good time. Zach, thanks for joining me again, man. Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having me, man.
All right. And everybody, please check out VinceRussoBrand.com, and we will see you later.
Visit VinceRussoBrand.com to sign up for exclusive VIP content. You get over 20 new video shows monthly, including Vixens Who Rule and The Swerve, where Vince Russo interviews stars in wrestling and beyond. Listen to Vince and Jeff Lane discuss weekly news and rumors and review Attitude Era Raws. Also, watch the cult hit Bucket Full of Chicken next. Go to VinceRussoBrand.com and click the red subscribe button to join now.